Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Rice Report, an opportunity for me to let you know what's going on here in my office, also your office here in Rockville. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the budget, and I'm sure that you've heard by now that we passed an over $5 billion budget. And of course, keeping true to our priorities, over half of that budget was allocated for our school system. We're very excited to see that we continue to fund a great and fantastic school system that continues to do well in achieving all kinds of successes for our students. But we know that there's still so much more that needs to be done. Unfortunately, we weren't able to fully fund the Board of Education's request, and we know that that means difficult decisions that they're going to have to make. But we know that focusing on the best interests of all of us, which are our students, they'll make the right decisions to ensure that we continue to have one of the best systems in the nation. I also want to highlight another aspect of our education budget, which was Montgomery College. And we were very happy to be able to restore a lot of the cuts that were proposed to their budget by the county executive. We were actually able to increase funding to secure programs like ACES and other foundation programs that really focus on the achievement gap were protected. Those are things that are important to the core of Montgomery College, making sure that we focus on some of our most at-risk students and making sure that they continue to have the support necessary to be successful. You know, it was in working in conjunction with Dr. Pollard that we had these education budget forums where we went around the county to talk about the needs of the system and to talk about what we were trying to accomplish. And I'm very happy to see that we remain on track in having those items as a focus, making sure that we can continue to have one of the best secondary institutions in the nation, which is Montgomery College. I also want to talk a little bit about Health and Human Services. You know, I also serve on the Health and Human Services Committee. We faced a lot of challenges this year. We were able to fund a lot of our community programs. We have programs called our grants process through the council, where we actually allocate funding for a variety of different programs, whether it's working on shelter for some of our homeless, or working on making sure that we can feed some of our hungry, and also making sure that we can educate some of our kids who've lost their way. Programs like Conservation Corps that do a great job of taking kids who dropped out of the system and bringing them back in to get their GEDs and also, oh, by the way, get jobs. These are things that are great that are happening in our community with our nonprofits, and we're happy to be supporting them as a part of this year's budget. I also want to talk to you a little bit about some of the other items that are there. Many of you have complained about transportation, complained about roads, and those things are also allocated in this budget. And while we don't have the big ticket items like the Quarter City Transitway and our Purple Line still remains up in the air, we firmly remain committed. These are items that are essential to the growth and stability for Montgomery County as a whole. Speaking of stability and growth, I want to make sure that everyone knows that affordable housing continues to be a focus for us as well. And we've continued to allocate money to ensure that our MPDU program is strong, but also that we are focusing on growing additional affordable housing stock throughout the county, not just in new units, but also retaining existing ones. We don't have to pass any bills to make these kinds of things happen. These are major priorities that are spearheaded through a combination of our Department of Housing and Community Affairs, along with our Housing Opportunities Commission for Montgomery County, who do a great job of ensuring that throughout the county, not just in certain areas, that we have affordable places for people to live. You know, this budget overall reflects a lot of values that we have here in Montgomery County, ensuring and supporting the success of those who've made it, but also making sure that we don't forget about those who might need a helping hand. The key is that we leave no one behind. It is important for us to always make sure that all of our Montgomery County residents have access to making sure that they can achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. You know, we're about to embark on the end of the school year, and so many of our kids will be out going to jobs, walking around, enjoying the summer months. And I'd just like to caution everybody to be very aware. Unfortunately, we've had a number of pedestrian incidents, some of which have been fatalities, right in the Germantown area. You know, it was only a few years ago that we lost Christina Morris Ward at an intersection in Germantown of 118 and Wisteria. And from that, a great pedestrian safety initiative was formed. We just found out recently that that pedestrian safety initiative received a number of different accolades and awards. What we have to do is we have to advocate. We have to continue to make our voices heard. We have to be a voice and a leader, each and every one of us in this room, to make sure that what happened doesn't happen again. And it's not going to happen, unfortunately, from us just being sad about the loss of a beautiful young lady. It's got to happen from advocacy and action. But the key is, while we are relishing in the fact that we have a great program that's highlighting pedestrian safety, we don't want to have a program at all. And so it's important for us to make sure that we ask our car drivers that are out there to be looking out for pedestrians, but also making sure that our pedestrians are safe as well. And so I implore all of my folks to be careful, be safe, watch out for one another. Because again, we are all in this together. I want to thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Rice Report. I'll be back in the fall to let you know about some of the things that I have upcoming for the future session of the Montgomery County Council and how we can continue to make Montgomery County one of the best places to live, work, and play. Thanks so much for tuning in. And as always, remember, you can reach me via my office by calling us at 240-777-7955. You can reach us on Facebook. It's Councilmember Craig Rice. You can always tweet it's at Rice Politics. And by all means, always feel free to just call my office and stop by and have a chat. I'd love to talk with you and let you know about how great things are going and how we can continue to work together to make them even better. Take care and God bless.